What's up everyone, it's Sleepy P and this is the Sleepy Shellcourt. Welcome back. Today we're going to have another look at the dumpster fire, the abomination that is Velma, and how the people involved with Velma are trying to dig themselves out of the almighty hole that they've managed to get themselves into by making this dirge in the first place. Before we get into that, it'd be mighty cool if you'd like, subscribe, hit the notification bell and all that YouTube stuff. Let's get into this. Velma has turned out to be one of the worst TV shows ever. Well, I mean, even worse than they could have imagined. I mean, I can't imagine that they wanted it to start, that they started out thinking, oh yeah, we're just going to make a real garbage TV show. But they managed it. Look at this, Rotten Tomatoes, 6% audience score. 6%. That is atrocious. That is appalling. Whoever had anything to do with this program should hang themselves. No, oh shit, no. That came out wrong. Whoever had anything to do with this program should hang their heads in shame. That's what I meant to say. Oh, I've had too much coffee today. Maybe the former, I don't know. I look at this on IMDb, 1.3 out of 10. This is one of the worst ever performing shows in the history of IMDb. It's just, I can't describe how bad it is. We'll get into why it's bad in a second. But then the Velma cast and creator claim HBO Max series was inspired by their love for both animation and previous Scooby Doo cartoons. So what they're doing now, you see, is they're trying to double down and say that they made this show purely because of the IP, that, you know, the source material, the original source material was what inspired them, and not that Mindy Kaling was given a free ride on the Scooby Doo train because people of colour can't get TV shows. Fuck off, Mindy Kaling. However, seemingly realised that bastardising a beloved IP and insulting a potential audience is not a winning strategy for endearing one's work to the public, the cast and creator of HBO Max's Velma have attempted to claim that their mean-spirited take on Scooby Doo was born from their own love for the original Mystery Gang and the medium of animation. If you loved Scooby Doo and you had any respect for Scooby Doo, the dog or the cartoon, you would not have made this show. You'd have fucking done something else. But you're forever going to be associated with this albatross around your neck, this absolute garbage. The co-conspirators in the murder of Joe Ruby and Ken Spears' most beloved Hanna-Barbera creation put forth their respective defences during a recent interview regarding the series given to TV Insider. So they know that this is bombing and they're trying to justify it. I don't know why, because this isn't going to get the ratings up, but let's see what they had to say. Met at the interview's onset by the most embarrassingly gushing praise from TV Insider's Damien Holbrook about how joke-packed he found each episode of Velma to be. Series star Mindy Kaling opined, "I think that's something that we really loved about animated shows. Charlie and I are such huge fans," said the actress. "What's so impressive about the series creator and regular Kaling collaborator Charlie Grandi and his staff is that to do a show that's that funny but has a real mystery, there's a serial murderer in the show, is really impressive to pack into a half-hour show. There's nothing impressive about Velma." From there, Holbrook raised the topic of the series of race-swapping Velma from a white to Indian, to which Kaling herself regularly promoted the show by boasting about the orange-sweatered sleuth's new heritage dismissed. It's interesting, her identity is a big part of what people have been talking about before they've seen the show, but it's not a big part of her storytelling and her life. This is a character, she's so iconic, and the original series is so amazing, and we have a racially diverse cast. It's not the sort of show that hinged on their identity, she added. If it doesn't hinge on the identity, why do you keep going on about how fucking diverse the cast is? The cast shouldn't be diverse. The cast were white.
He's a monster.
And all you've done is fuck around with it just so you could get your fucking face on TV. Or your whiny voice. Likewise, Grandy himself tried to claim that it was a dream to work on such classic IP as Scooby Doo because the fun of an origin story is that we all know where they end up. So it's all about, okay, where can we start them? Oh, for fuck's sake. Then in terms of the mystery, I always wanted to do a season-long mystery, and so to kind of figure that out and work backwards where you plant that information and how it can come out in a comedic series was difficult. But it's really, really fun, said the series creator. That's the fun, the tension of it, he continued. The characters all stem from this original idea of that they're all so comfortable with each other. They're in a van all the time and they don't really bicker. So it's like, how do you get that comfortable with people? You have to go through a lot of shit to get to that point. So it's fun to show what that is.
My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is my...
And this is not how anybody's going to end up in a van. I mean, they are going to end up in a van, but it's not going to be the right sort of van. Asked whether the script's overload of pop culture references and supposed jokes were the result of the writing team's efforts or Kaling's own comedy stylings, the actress admitted, "I did zero improvisation. The scripts are just so tightly scripted, I didn't need it. What I love about the character is she has these razor-sharp feminist observations about being a young woman in the way that where you're like, I wish I could have been, or said that thing, or encapsulated the moment like she did, or Daphne did, or some of the other female characters," Kaling opined. But it's all Charlie and the staff. Yeah, just the female characters, because the male characters in it, Fred is a complete idiot, and the guy that's playing Shaggy, the character that's replaced Shaggy, is just a complete and utter simp. So the only people coming out looking well in this show are the girls. Offering his own thoughts of stepping into the shoes of such an iconic character, Norville, voice actor Sam Richardson recalled to Holbrook, "I just love Scooby Doo, and I loved the characters so much, I grew up watching them." Well, if that's the case, Sam Richardson, why did you fucking ruin it? Hey, why did you spoil it for everyone? I know fans love to have problems with things, so I was excited to get into that realm, he joked, making a reference of how he was playing, in his words, a sober black Shaggy. Yeah, nobody wants that. Yeah, despite the supposed love for the original team and their adventures, an anecdote given by Fred voice actor Glenn Howerton would suggest otherwise. Speaking to his approach towards voicing the series' tired white people bad line of humour, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia co-creator explained that he wanted to make him a little more immature, a little more petulant, sound a little more like a high school kid. And Fred was never immature, and he wasn't petulant. I mean, Fred was he wasn't the brains in the way that Velma was, but Fred was a smart dude in the original Scooby-Doo. He was a wise, dependable set of shoulders, and now he's just a fucking goober. The way I interpreted the character was to be completely driven by the scripts that I got handed, said Howerton. What do they seem to be going for here? Let me lean into that. He's certainly an entitled, petulant kid who's somewhat clueless. Everyone described him as almost like an innocent bully. Like he's like a bully, but he's completely unaware of how offensive things are that he's saying, further described the actor. In his mind, he's super nice, but he says and does awful things, so that was a funny thing to lean into. You fucking wanker, why did you lean into that? Because that is not the Fred we know and love. That was not the Fred that was in the original Scooby-Doo show. So, obviously, YouTube has had something to say, and YouTuber Yellow Flash shows media doing damage control for HBO Max's woke disaster, Velma. Yellow Flash has got some really, really, really cool takes on this, and if you haven't seen Yellow Flash before on YouTube, just search for Yellow Flash 2 and you'll find his channel. Velma, the inclusive Scooby-Doo reboot on HBO Max, is a critical disappointment, to put it mildly. It's turning off viewers and reviewers left and right, but that hasn't stopped the media that approves of this kind of content and has no success or upside to the show for itself from desperately finding positives to defend its existence, and this is impossible to defend. They just need to shut up, disappear and not make a season 2. YouTuber and commentator Yellow Flash demonstrated in a new video the way sites like CBR are expounding on what they perceive Velma as doing right in the name of diversity. In a recent article, the site makes the claim that the new Shaggy novel is the best version of Shaggy ever. HBO Max's Velma is breaking stereotypes and pushing inclusivity and equality. It's giving fans the best Shaggy ever, it says. Yellow Flash couldn't disagree more and responds that Noble comes off as a beta male wuss who constantly pines over Velma and always begs her for days. Overall, this Shaggy is a loser, Flash says, and far from the best version. It's awful. He adds, with all the woke tropes, Velma is not breaking any kinds of stereotypes realistically. Harsh, but fair. CBR's take is no surprise, but there are others taking the defence of Velma to a bizarre level. A left-wing conspiracy theory, for instance, admits the show is bad but claims that poor quality is due to a right-wing psyop. According to this theory, by a Forbes writer, the criticism is fake and people are covering up Mindy Kaling's closet conservatism or something, says Yellow Flash. Some out there apparently think Velma is a setup done for the sake of making fun of woke people. Skeptical Flash retorts, I don't think so. I think these people are literally just thought that this would be the funniest thing ever, and it's not. As Rotten Tomatoes proves, critics and viewers weighed in, and they attest to the series' unfunniness. Now, real Scooby Doo fans are upset that the beloved franchise is being scorched, which Flash sympathises with, and I do as well. Scooby Doo is just being ruined before our eyes. He explains that HBO Max and Mindy Kaling's desecration of Scoob is another incident made possible by the woke effect. Every franchise, anything of value, will fall victim to Hollywood's DEI politics because they can't create anything original anymore. Scooby Doo is just the latest one. That said, The Guardian still asks if Velma actually is an insult to Scooby fans. Yellow Flash answers yes emphatically. Meanwhile, Out magazine vehemently defends Velma as the best show ever and can't believe the uproar against it. No surprises there. Obviously, the writers at Out magazine are retarded and need help. Possibly as a result of the muckraking sensationalism, an attempt to cancel Kaling over an improvised kiss with a male co-star she found attractive is garnering attention. The actor was Lee Pace, and the incident took place in an episode of a sitcom, The Mindy Kaling Project. Explaining to Conan O'Brien in 2016 what happened, she said, "He was just looming above me and he asked me a question. I was not listening to him because who cares what he was saying? And I was just like, and I kissed him." Kaling then threatened to fire anyone who spoke up, and they're like, "Hey man, what are you doing? You could be sued for that." And I got very scared and I said, "Tell anyone and you're fired." I think he might have been like, did it happen or did it not? So I just didn't need our side to confirm it or anything, she added. This is the sort of person Mindy Kaling is, and you're giving her a platform. So well done. Is it too late for Velma? Has it reached the dreaded point of no return? Is it time for Warner to come to their senses and cut bait on this universally panned series? Answer and share your thoughts in the comments below. This has been Sleepy P for the Sleepy Shellcore. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all that YouTube stuff. Until next time, peace out.